So what's up there, guys, and welcome back to Dig It Detecting. Now get excited as this is a site that I've been speaking about for the last 3 videos. This is the old pub site. Now this pub site dates back from 1854. Pretty bloody amazing, and it has some wonderful history. I've been researching this place for a couple of years now, and basically the history that has been contained here over the years is just amazing. Look at this guy, look at this, wow. Basically though, this used to be a pub site, and then it ran through from 1854, ran through till, look, early 1900s. It was a very successful pub site too, I will mention. The landowner, the licensee holder here, the manager, the pub owner, he made his money, they say he made his money a couple of times over within a few years. He then basically put on a manager here and went and built another pub not too far away in another little local town. So some really great history here. They had horse events, they had agricultural show days here where they would do ploughing competitions and matches. They had greyhound, like hunting. The hunting party would set off from here and up through the hills and off into the bush and what have you, hunting with their hounds and what have you. Look, there's some just amazing history here. They even had elections here throughout the 1860s, you know, polling booths, what have you. They had, you know, just so much happening here. So the history is amazing. There was even an attempted murder on this site, but I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. So we're going to get the detector switched on. I literally cannot wait to see some of the stuff that's going to start coming out of the ground here. So we're going to get the detector on, and we're going to make a start. All right, so as you can hear, we are right beside a road. So that is going to be our also secondary challenge for the day. Our first challenge, also I didn't mention, was there was a later house built at this site, you know, that basically was only pulled down a couple of years ago. So look, there's probably going to be quite a bit of modern rubbish here. So we are just going to try and adjust these settings as we go. We're going to set up what I sort of generally set up, and that's from the 18 to 40. Now, some people think I might be crazy, basically editing out all these numbers. However, basically first time I hit a site, I like to basically get a feel for what this site contains and what it holds. So look, what we're going to do is we're going to be digging 18 and upwards. However, you will notice I left the 15 in there as well. The reason why I've done that is because a 15 is a gold sovereign, so it can also be a ring pull too. So look, we'll run with that. As I said, in many of my videos I generally dig the higher numbers and then come back and dig the lower ones out. If I was never able to return here today, I'd be digging 0 to 40. However, that's not the case. So anyway, low iron bias and down to 1, a high recovery speed. Now look, if we are getting too much interference from the highway, I'll bump that down, try and knock it off a bit. So we'll run with that, and whoops, and we do have 25 sensitivity, so max sensitivity. So we'll give her a noise cancel at that and see what it's going to do, see if it's going to run quiet enough for us. Hopefully. Not too bad, I can live with that. We can work with that. Anyway, that's what we're going to run with. Let's go. Okay, we got our first little find. Looks like a little buckle to me. What a ripper. I just had to get the map out then, because this is such a large paddock, and basically I sort of have a bit of an understanding where the old pub used to sit, and obviously any pub, you know, if there's a crossroad or a junction point and a paddock sort of, you know, sitting off those junction points, the pub owner's never going to build his pub way up the back paddock there. How are people going to get to it? How are people going to see it? It's all about business. So with these pub sites, so you know, if you've got a junction of a road like what I'm leading down towards that way in front of me, if you've got a junction of a road, that's where you're going to put the pub site. You're going to put it right on the corner of the road, where it's best seen, where it's best patronised by people, basically, you know, customers and trade coming forth. So, and look, as I said, he made a lot of money. So if that's anything to go off, I dare say we need to keep heading towards the road. So here it is. This is our second dig and our next beautiful looking little piece. And you can see there the numbers 12, 1, 2, 3, right round to 12 again. And that is a little clock face. So little clock arms would have come through the middle there. How nice though, how nice though. If this is anything to go off, you know, we've only been here for 10 minutes. We've already got that little piece that looks like a buckle. And if that's anything to go off, we are going to have a great day. Right, so as I mentioned before, there was a house site built here later after the pub, and I dare say this is where that pen's come from. It doesn't look too old, does it? But then in the same hole, we have this old, some sort of lid or something made out of copper there. So look, old and relatively new. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today, which is pretty common at most sites. However, if we really hit on the pub, because I know that the house was not built over top of the pub, so you know, if the house was built straight on top of the pub, it would be making today a lot more harder. However, I know that the pub was sort of down in the front here, and I know that the other house was up the back there. However, that's not to say a little bit of modern rubbish wasn't dropped down the front here in later years occupation as well. So anyway, we'll just keep going. I'm trying to pick out on the really deep signals, because obviously anything old is going to be deep. So trying to pick out on these old deep signals and see what comes of it. Okay, so what was really interesting is when I approached the landowner, who I already knew of this site. Basically he was responsible for demolishing and removing the old house that was here after the pub. Now when he did so, basically he found an old well, and he knew that the well could not date to the house. It was just too old. The house come a lot later, and he even could sort of see that himself. Anyway, long story short, when I approached this bloke and I said to him what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it, he said, "You're joking, there was a pub down there originally from the 1800s. I said, "No mate, that's all right." And he even asked me how I even knew that. Funny story actually is I was talking to a bloke in the historical society actually the other day. He didn't even know this pub existed here. So there you go, research is key. I love it. Anyway, he found this well, and I do believe this is what he was talking about. Now he said he threw a heap of bricks, what have you, down there, and basically he said it was, he goes, "Mate, it would have been bloody 20 odd foot deep." He said it just kept going and going and going and going. He said they just kept dumping stuff down there, and you can see the wall, one of the walls there. So anyway, very, very cool. We've sort of found the old well to the pub. There would be no reason why the house that come later, the modern house come later, would have needed a well. All these early type pubs and houses though did. So anyway, and look, we've even found some little iris bulbs. So good indication of the pub site being right here, because I know the house, the current house, or the house that was here, I know it's that sort of way past those two trees there. So this has got to be the pub site. And look, you can see a little bit of a hill there, like it steps up here. I reckon this is right where the pub was. So let's keep detecting and see what we can find. Our next neat little find here, a little buckle, little horse buckle. It's still got the leather attached. And look, this is not, I can tell straight away, this is not dating back to the pub. This has to be dating back to the later house site that was here afterwards. So just does not look that old, does not look that ornate, and even that leather does not look that old. So this looks a little bit more 1800s ish to me. An old clock cog. So pretty cool. We find a lot of these at the old 1800 sites. So there you go, It's just going to be a mixture, you know, we're just going to be finding a modern bottle top, so, you know, something modern, something old. So that's fine by me. The more trash we take out, the better we have, the better success we have with the older stuff anyway. So you can see there too, see a little burn charcoal in the pit here. And look, I don't know if this is, you know, ash can stay in the holes for hundreds of years, thousands, but you know, I don't think that is basically old ash from the pub, nor that glass either. I just think that is a bit of modern stuff and a bit of modern ash, bit of modern burning here, possibly after the house was pulled down. They obviously probably discarded and burnt a lot of what was left of it. So anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so I've done it. I have done it. I got myself a beautiful 1860s 2-cent coin. What a ripper, what a ripper. I've gave him a clean up on that side. I'm not going to clean him on that side, because if I do, you'll see that I'm lying, and it actually probably says 1986 or 7 or 3 or whatever. Bugger. It's our first coin, but it's not 1800s, unfortunately. A little bit too modern for that. Now, what did I say this site was again? An old pub. Now, doesn't that tie into its history very well? A little keg tap. What a cracker. I smashed him on the side there with a shovel, unfortunately. He was laying in the hole like that, and I didn't know what he was, and I sort of ran the shovel down the back of him. Bugger. So he's going to have a couple of neat scratches in the back there. However, he will display quite nicely. He's only a little fella too, and basically this is exactly what I want to see. You know, I want to find a coin today, but finding a keg tap at what I know it's an old pub site. I've got nothing or not much to really prove it, apart from a few old newspaper articles and a little bit of history, but no pictures, nothing else. As I said, even the bloke in the historical society the other day, I told him about what I was doing, and even he sort of said, where was it again? He knew of the one that was down the road there, the other one that I hunt, but he did not know about this one. So keg tap, bingo, we've got a pub. Righto, so just as I'm digging this target out, I thought it'd be nice to share a bit of information with you about the hotel that's sat here. Now, the bloke who first built this hotel, he actually settled in this area in 1846. He was a farmer, actually settled as a young boy. Now, he was only 4 years old when his dad settled here, and he was an Irishman. He was of Irish descent. So am I. I got an Irish background. My early ancestors come here from Ireland, from Tipperary in Ireland. So there you go. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. Look, basically though, really cool. He was an Irishman. He started the hotel here, and basically it says that it was a 2-story brick edifice hotel. Now, edifice, E-D-I-F-I-C-E, means a large or imposing building. Or, you know, a complex sort of structure. It's got a couple of different meanings. And as you can see here, we've got all these bricks in the hole. I do believe they look quite early, those bricks, early made bricks. I do believe these are the original bricks to the hotel. And the other reason why I'm saying that is because that the house that was built here later, I know for a fact, I drove past it every day for years, and I've still got a picture of it, but the house that was built here later, it was weatherboard. I'm not saying it didn't have bricks as a foundation or bricks as a base, you know, around the bottom of the skirts, what have you. But yep, it was weatherboard. It wasn't brick. So the fact that there's this many bricks here, you know, and look, there's another one there. I'm still digging down to bricks, and we're getting glass and everything coming out of the hole too. So this is definitely part of the old hotel, I've no doubt. So now we're just going to try and get whatever's out of there, or whatever's down there, out. Okay, so this is definitely not pub related. Come a lot later. I can just see this in the hole, and you know what that is? It's part of a toy car. And then I see in this little guy a little wheel. So, and then if I pull the front out, we got ourselves a little toy car. Not much left of him though, is there? I kind of snipped him in half with the shovel. Oh, let's hope I don't do that to the gold sovereign I'm going to find later. Here's hoping anyway. So here's our next little piece related to the pub, and it's what we were missing from our little keg tap before, wouldn't you know it? We're missing the handle. Let's see. Let's see if we can marry him up, hey? See if he fits. But once I find the keg tap, it's the heaviest item in my bag, so it's sunk right down to the bottom. Well then, wouldn't that be weird? It's almost exactly what we need to complete it. Look at that. I'm going to say that is the guy, even though we found the tap handle here, and we found the tap, or nearly about where that thistle is. So there you go. Strange one. Strange one. Pretty cool though. Okay, so here's an interesting piece. I sort of think I know what it is. I have seen them before. Basically, other people finding them. I've read about them in books. I've seen them in movies, documentaries, all that sort of stuff. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong though. It looks pretty old. Looks pretty old. Could date back to the pub site. If this is a little brush in here, I do believe this is for oiling the barrel of your gun. Yeah, no, I reckon it is. I reckon it's a little oil. Little gun barrel oiler, so your oil would be in there. I reckon that's what it is. I might have to do a little bit more research on that one. If that is from the pub time period, 1800s, it's in bloody good condition, so it's sort of making me doubt it in a way. But then again, you just never know. You just never know. You know, some stuff survives really, really well in the ground over time, and then other stuff does not. So, it'll be interesting to see if it's got any details or anything else. If not, I'll be trying to match this up to something else. It looks like it says something there. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll be trying to match this up to something else and try and possibly ID it properly. So, what a cool piece though. Okay, so we're nearly right down on the roadside now. And check out what Luke's got. We're on the money on this site. You know, you might have, you know, some might have seen the old keg tap there coming before, and I said, oh, we're definitely on the pub site. Well, you know, look, that may not have also been the case either. You could get an old house site with an old keg tap there too. However, a little bit strange that we've now found another one, isn't it? So, and this definitely dates the time period for this site correctly. Look at where he's been sitting there for the last 100 odd years or more. And you've got little hammer nose on him. Now that little nose would be where they would basically insert it into the keg, and then this little nose would where they would basically hammer it in. Because, you know, can you imagine hammering off the spout here? You quickly damage it, wouldn't it? So they'd incorporate that little nose, and that little nose was what helped basically tap it into the keg. So hence where you get the saying, we'll tap the keg. So what a great piece, what a great piece. And he is a lot larger than the other one that we just found there before. So they're ringing up quite nice and high, pretty hard to miss these, even though there is a lot of other trash in the ground. So I can't wait to show the owner. He's gonna love this. There you go, another great indicator right there. Look at that. Yeah, I said there was 1854 this pub was established. And well, look, in actual fact, it's a bit of a dispute. Some history books say 1859, others say 1854. Whatever the case, that beer bottle right there, he dates back to that time period perfectly. He would have been imported from England. He's got no stamps, no nothing on the base, apart from this sort of little window looking design. So that may have been a manufacturer's maker's mark. However, a lot of the early bottle makers did not put an ID mark on the base of the bottles. Therefore, a lot of these early ones that you see, especially here in Australia, these real thick, crude looking glass with no base stamps, they're generally imported from England. So there you go. And look, I was thinking about beer bottles and all that sort of stuff, and you know how many bottles would be here because it is an old pub site. But then I also sort of keep reminding myself, you know, well, there was a house here for many years afterwards. So, you know, if old mate who lived in the house up there was any kind of bottle collector or loved his history, well, he would have had 60, 70 years here to dig for bottles and possibly dig them all out. So, pretty amazing though, that one was just sitting on the surface there though. So, once again, as you see, we've got more bulbs too. Bulbs are always something that I keep an eye out for. Where there's bulbs, there's occupation. Well, there you have it. We've got another one. Broken again. That's why he was discarding them. So quite an active little pub, this place, I'd say. That's 3 now. That's 3, and all different sizes. So we're going to keep running along, up along this strip here towards the road. You can see there we're nearly at the corner allotment, and I am chock-a-block. We're going to have to go empty off and put it all beside the tree up there. What I did in today's case too, I knew I wouldn't be able to get the car in here too close, so I knew I wouldn't be able to go off and empty at my leisure. So what I've done is I've got cha-ching! I got a little bag, and I'm going to put the rubbish in the bag, empty my pouch, start again, and then I can just walk the pouch and the rubbish full, the bag full of rubbish out of here at the end of the day. So pretty smart fella, aren't I? So I think I mentioned there before, with all the modern rubbish and everything that's went on at this site over the years, I dare say we do have our work cut out for us here, and this is a good example right here. So you can see how deep I've went down, past my sleeve there, fair way down, nearly a couple of feet down, and I've got all this brick coming out, which would be from the old pub, have no doubt. It's that really old tight brick. And then down there we've got some lead, big old hunky chunk of lead. Now I do say that's from the old pub also, and we've had a lot of overfill put in here and topsoil put in here, covering it right down below there, because that's a long way for it to be buried. And even those bricks are still coming out intact down there. So unless they buried them some time ago, I dare say later on in the future it had topsoil put on and buried it itself. So we also had these pieces of slate coming out. Now there's no slate around here, it's not mined around here, and basically the slate they would use for their old roofs. So pretty cool. I'll just crack the piece in half and show you there. It's got those real thin layers slate, very cool. And they would just basically take a piece of slate rock, and they would basically just hammer and chisel, and they break off slices like that, and then they would be used on the roofs to panel the old roofs of the houses, slate roofs, or even the pubs. So very cool, Now we just got to try and get that big chunk of lead out. We've got one finally. This looks like an old penny. Let's just hope he's a Britannia, because he would fit the date. Bugger, I was going to say he'd fit the date perfectly. Never mind, it's still a penny, it's still a coin. So we've had some success today locating the coin that we wanted to. I said that I wanted to get an old pre-decimal today. We've got a few 1 and 2 cent coins, but they're nothing special. I wanted a silver or a penny, so not the date that we wanted. However, cool find. Okay, so you would not believe it, but it's actually 2:30 in the afternoon, and look at that fog. It's still killing it, isn't it? So the sun's trying to get out, but it's still struggling. Anyway, look, I'm not going to go for too much longer. I am bloody sore. You don't know how sore I am at the moment. I've had a big week digging. I've actually shot 4 videos this week, so there you go, and halfway through editing them too. And so this will be my 5th video this week that I've shot. Pretty crazy, I know. However, I teed up to come here today, being a sad day. I teed up to come here. I wasn't going to bail out of myself. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I always do it religiously. So look, I'm glad I did though. What I'm about to show you is not exactly what I'm after for this site. I'm after something 1900s and prior, to prove, an old coin to prove that the pub was here. Although I know it was. We found the keg taps, what have you. Anyway, long story short, I love talking, don't I? Check this bad boy out. Booyah! 1956, beautiful Australian coat of arms florin. So absolutely lovely. I shouldn't say coat of arms. It's got the Australian coat of arms on it, shield in the middle. It's not the early type though that we we envision when you say that though. So 1956, beautiful florin. Oh my god, lovely, lovely. You know, this has made it all worth it too, just this florin here. And as I said, this would relate to the house that was here later. So very, very nice, very nice. Let's see if we can't hit on any more coins. Hopefully they're 1800s. Well, settle down there, buddy. You're going to lose your license if you do that for too much longer. Righto, so look at that. The sun's out and it's turned into quite a nice day. So as I thought it would, I checked the weather there last night and it said top of 14 degrees with a foggy morning. So we got rid of the fog now. We can enjoy the sunlight. So we've got another coin here and it's not on the money again. We want something older than this. However, this is only our first day. We're only, 4 hours in to this site. To be honest, we are nearly going to pack up and head home. We're just digging out a few of these last signals just to basically kill the curiosity in me, and then we'll head home because I really, really want an old coin, something pre-1900, you know, 1880, 1870, whatever. Just something to date to this site. A coin would be nice. So anyway, we do have those old keg taps though to show the owner. That's a great start, and as I said, we will be back here many, many, many times in the future, as long as the owner continues to let us, which I'm sure he will. We will continue to come back here time and time again, and until we nail this site. So, and look, the more you do that too, you know, you never ever have too much success when you first start visiting these sites, especially at a site like this where so much has gone on. You know, there was a pub, and then later on there was a house, and then now it's been all demolished and removed, and like there's a lot going on here. There's well over, you know, 150 years of history just here. So the fact that it's our first day, we're only 4 hours in, there's over 100 years of history here. The ground has been leveled and changed, and foundations have been added and removed. It's a lot to deal with, it's a lot to contend with, and you know, basically once you spend enough time here learning this site, you know, learning where the foundations are, where the bulbs are, where all the junk's coming out, where the burn poles are, what you thought was the front of the house, the back of the house, you know, once you work out all those key factors in your mind, it only makes these sites easier in future. Okay, so there you go. We've got another little buckle. Now this is the second one I've found. I didn't show you the one there before. And we also have our first little copper rivet, or brass rivet I should say. Now you can see there, he would have been for affixing two pieces of leather together. So I dare say I could be on the stables. You know, we've got a person's buckle here, a belt buckle. We've got a leather rivet joining two bits of leather, generally used for horse tack. So pretty common to find around the old stables. So there would have had to be stables here somewhere, because everybody would have been turning up on their horse and carts. So they would have had to cater for the horses' needs, refresh them, new water, maybe a bag of feed. So anyway, really, really cool to find that piece here. We're going to dig a few more targets, and then I'm going to go have a very, very late lunch. Righto, it's coming on 5 o'clock, so I am going to pack up. Look, that's about it for me today. I know I've still got daylight in front of me, however I am bloody sore. As I said, I've shot quite a few videos this week, and I've dug a lot of holes. So, and we've even got another 2 bags of trash out today. So bag number 1, bag number 2, we've got some coins up in the top there to show you when we get home. So we're going to get home, clean them all up, and we'll show you, give you a look, as I said. And we are also going to touch base with the landowner, give him a show of what we've got, the keg taps especially, the florin, some of the favourite pieces there. And look, if he wants anything, he's more than welcome to keep it. This is his property, that's how I work. But if not, I've got some neat little finds for today, and we will be back again. So anyway, we'll see you at home. Okay, so here we are, and we're back home. We've got all our finds laid out, and we're going to give you a look of what we did today, basically, and a little bit of a conclusion, so what I thought. So We'll make it quick because the sun is going down, so we're limited on time. Basically though, all the stuff on the left is the more modern rubbish, and look, this is all the stuff basically that would have come from the house site after the pub. So as I mentioned, the house site was only pulled down a few years ago, 2019, 2018, something like that. So a lot of modern rubbish to contend with today, trying to search for that older items. So anyway, as we go through to the right here, you'll see some of the older stuff, or what I define as the older stuff. So the old beer bottle, he's definitely from the 1800s. As I said, no maker's mark on the bottom. He would have been imported from England. Beautiful, beautiful, and I'm surprised anything like that is even still laying on the surface, being that there was such a long occupation there right up through to only a few years ago. So anyway, a few other pieces, the old door lock plate, I'm not too sure what the brass pipe is, the old wheel lock plate nut, the old cog, probably out of a clock or something, very, very cool. A few old nails, another brass looking item, looks pretty old to me. Little pull tab shouldn't be there. However, I was digging the 15s today, looking for the half sovereigns. As I mentioned, half sovereign is a 15 on the Equinox 800, and a full sovereign is an 18. And I know half sovereigns come in at 15s, because I've found one, so pretty cool, pretty cool. Anyway, the old harmonica, the old door lock slider plate, you would have seen a lot of these featured in my videos. They always break off at that weak point, and they always get discarded. So the keg taps, I love them. This little guy was the first one we found, followed by the little handle here, and I don't think it's the correct handle for this tap exactly, per se. However, you know, look, he looks like the same size. It just doesn't look like the same break off point, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway, could be wrong. Another little piece of the keg tap that would have slid into the barrel, same as this guy, bigger one here. And look, they do even get bigger than this. I've got some bigger ones even inside. So, and as mentioned, you can always define these as a keg tap, because they've always got that tapered end on them where they slide into the keg, and they've always got that nose on them, the hammered looking nose, like a rhino. This guy would have had it, however, you can see he's missing half the spout, so the spout would have sort of come down here, and the nose would have sort of protruded in that direction there. So missing quite a bit anyway. He's still a ripper piece, so I can't wait to show the landowners that, and even touch base with the bloke at the Historical Society to let him know what I found, and you know, just give him a bit of evidence. Yes, there was a pub there. So very interesting stuff. Love it. You're not only learning history as you go, you're discovering history, and you know, being able to define and determine what was where and what activity took place, and it's amazing stuff. I love it. So we had this old case here. Now I'm trying to get into focus there. It says EFD. A little bit more research required on that one. However, he's got that shaft looking thing there, and I do believe that's for oiling your gun. Don't know what age that dates to, because if it was, you know, 1850s, 1860s, by Jesus, it survived very, very well for its age. So could be wrong saying that it's 1800s, but I do believe it's a gun barrel cleaning kit, oiling kit, and I do believe it's quite old. So little horse rivet here, horse tack rivet, would have been used to bind two pieces of leather together. You find them everywhere, very common. I do believe this is part of an old door lock, what have you. We've got the old salt and pepper shaker lid. Very cool. You can see the holes in there are bigger, and then the holes out there are smaller. So he's yet to twist. He would, if he wasn't squashed, he would twist and he would open the holes. Little car, little front of a car. I'm sorry about that dog next door. He loves to bark. A few little belt buckles. I'm not sure what's going on with this guy. He's got some ornate decoration on him, top and bottom. And basically, you know, it would have been maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking like the end of a broomstick or something. It's pretty fancy though. Would have hung something though, maybe a lantern, maybe, I don't know. It's not a belt buckle per se, it's to hang something. Another belt buckle, another buckle I believe, pretty looking one. And the old chassis, Husky Ferrari chassis, that would have come much later with the kids there obviously. And we've also got the 2 cent coins, the little 1 cent coin there, and we've also got the rue pennies now. The rue pennies, you know, I would have liked to have found something a lot earlier than this. You know, it's all very nice and well to hit on coins, but ideally at this site, you know, I was really chasing a nice old Britannia today, just to really define, you know, people being on that side at that time. And look, I know there was. It's just been nice, you know. However, these are really nice to hit on, especially this guy here, the 1956 florin. Your beauty. I absolutely love my florins. If there's one coin I love finding the most, it's a florin. So that made my day also. Let me stand back up. I had to take a knee then. My back is killing me. Anyway, I'm getting old. Anyway, we got the old clock face here too. And it does look like it's got a little maker's mark there. I'm just noticing that myself now. A little A in a triangle. So, quite an interesting piece. Let me zoom you back in. And nice little floral decoration array around it. So, very cool. Would have just been a decorative little clock fascia plate. So anyway, what a ripper. And I have no doubt that dates back to the pub's existence. So who knows, that might have even been the clock on the mantelpiece. Very cool. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I hyped it up quite a lot through my last previous videos. You know, we're gonna get to this pub site, and you know, we got there today. It was a great day. We didn't pull all the gold sovereigns that I wanted to. We weren't hitting on all those you know, diamond rings and old vintage jewelry. It would have been nice. However, that doesn't mean I didn't have a great day, and that's the most important thing. You know, I could have come away with nothing for the day and just been out and out paddock detecting, enjoying myself anyway. So regardless of that, regardless of what we found, we'll be back there again to give it another crack, and then. So we'll just keep going. You know, we'll keep going until we succeed. So nothing beats success like persistence. So anyway guys, really hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below, and follow me for future. So that's about it. So remember, think lucky, dig clean, and happy hunting. See you next time.